Today we are going to be canning peaches in heavy syrup. I picked up these beautiful peaches from a local supplier who picks them up directly from the orchard, and then I go pick it up from their home. They have pickup dates once a week. You'll start by washing the peaches with soap and water, just gently under running water. Look at these peaches. They are huge and beautiful, and they smell amazing. You'll then blanch them for 1 minute in boiling water. So that means that you'll get the water boiling, put the peaches in, and as soon as the water has reached a boiling temperature again, you start the clock for 1 minute. So that's why you don't want to overcrowd the pot, because then it'll take too long to reach boiling temperature again. I did 4 at a time, which worked well for me. After 1 minute in the water bath, you'll remove the peaches. You'll see the skin just start to peel, and that's a good sign. And then you'll submerge the peaches in an ice water bath for maybe 5 minutes or so until they're cool enough to handle without burning your hands. And when they're ready, you'll take them out, and then the skin should peel off really easily. The skin of the peaches can hold a high bacterial load just because the peaches are out in the fields and there's dust and everything else going on, and the peach skins are fuzzy, which means that even if you wash them, they can hold on to all of that dust. So that's why we want to peel them off for safe canning processes. And then you'll just go ahead and repeat that for all the peaches. If you've never seen a peach without its skin, this is what it looks like, and you can just discard or compost those extra peels. You'll repeat for all of the peaches. I sliced some of the bigger pieces in half. Look at that beautiful fruit. You can cut them into slightly smaller wedges or leave them big. It's just really up to your preference. I just wanted uniform sizes. And then you'll discard or compost the peach pits and the stems, and then cover the pot with a lid. And you'll repeat for the entire batch of peaches. Just keep them in those lids to keep them covered and warm. Now we're going to make a simple syrup, which is just sugar and water. I made a double batch because I had so many peaches, and I put the amounts on the screen for the ratios for making a double batch of a heavy simple syrup. You can can with light syrup, medium syrup, heavy syrup. It just really depends on the kind of product that you're using and what tastes good for you, but there is a lot of flexibility in that regards. You'll stir the sugar and the water and bring it to a boil. And I really did have a lot of peaches, so I had to split them into 2 batches for processing. Look at all that peach juice that's releasing from the fruits. These really are some of the most beautiful peaches I've ever seen. They were just huge, perfectly ripe. They smelled amazing. So here I'm just separating the batch into 2 pots so that way we have space to work. Here the simple syrup has reached a boil. So then you'll just take some of that simple syrup and ladle it onto the peaches until the fruit is covered, because now we need to warm the peaches up to a boil to get them ready for canning. You'll cover that pot, bring it to a boil, and now it's time to can. Here is my prepared water bath canner with clean pint jars in water that has just started to simmer. I'm just pouring out the extra water so that the peaches, when they go back in, don't make the water level go up too high. You'll place that wide mouth funnel on the jar, and then you'll ladle in the hot peaches until you have reached a 1/2 inch headspace. And as for any canning recipes, you want to use the headspace that is recommended in a safe canning recipe. So we'll start by doing mostly fruits, and then later on, once we have the fruit up to about the rim of the jar, we'll then add syrup to kind of top it off, because there will be air bubbles. Here I'm just kind of tamping down the fruit a little bit to compress it into the jar very gently. Peaches are more of a fragile fruit, so you just want to handle them very gently. And there's that 1/2 inch mark we'll use just to measure the height of the peaches in the jar. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of simple syrup because you want to fill in all of those air gaps. And there we go, we've now reached that 1/2 inch required headspace. You'll take a damp paper towel and just wipe off that rim of the jar because we want to ensure a nice tight seal. Here are the jar lids and the rings that I've washed. You can reuse the rings multiple times as long as they don't have any indentations, but the lids, you want them brand new every time. You'll twist the ring until it's finger tight, and then carefully place the jar in the hot water bath so that it is submerged. You'll then repeat the process for all of the fruit, and you'll want to measure that there is a 1 to 2 inch headspace of water above the top of the jars. I just took out those extra jars, and this remaining peach flavored syrup is actually amazing for lemonade base. You just add some lemon juice concentrate and it's wonderful. You'll then bring the water bath to a boil. Once it has reached a boil, you'll process for 20 minutes and then carefully remove the jars. You just want to be careful as usual because everything is just really hot and you don't want to burn yourself here. You can see the steam just blowing into the camera lens. And there are your peaches. Beautiful jars. This is all your hard work paying off. And then I actually set up the water bath canner again and I repeated the process for that second batch of peaches. And now we're all done. We've got that first batch on the right, some extra peach flavored syrup in that jar, and this is the second batch right here. You'll then want to let your jars sit undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours and then test the seal, wash the jars, and then label them with the contents and the date. And here in front, this is a jar from a previous batch of peaches that I made a couple weeks ago that I put in the fridge overnight to chill. You'll follow that threading all the way to the top, and you'll use a spoon and just kind of wedge it in between the edge of the lid and that very topmost part of the threading. And you can just pop open the jar like that. Just twist the spoon a little bit and the lid just pops right open. And you can just eat the peaches right out of the jar, just like this. You can put them on other dishes, you can put them on ice cream, but I like mine chilled just with the fork right out of the jar. They are incredibly delicious, so fragrant, tons of flavor, nicely sweet. You can then use a reusable plastic lid to store the jars in the fridge. Thank you for watching and bete avon.